I just saw an interview with the Secretary of State of Maine, and she's a total American hero. Jenna Griswold, our Secretary of State here in Colorado, is another total American hero, as are our Supreme Court justices who ruled to vote Trump off the ballot. Anyone who's keeping Trump off the ballot is an American hero. Anyone who wants him on the ballot is a Nazi. And these Nazis who are death threatening the Secretary of State, because they ask him immediately, like, what about the death threats within hours of your decision, which Trump coordinates, which makes him a terrorist and makes those who support him terrorist supporters, and they should be imprisoned for that. And this Maine Secretary of State, she was ready. She doesn't care. She's ready to self-defense murder any Trump mutineer who tries to show up and carry out these death threats. And that's the way we should be. First of all, they won't show up. Kyle Rittenhouse, it was one exception, but they rarely ever show up. And we should look at it as an opportunity to put one less Trump mutineer out on the streets if they do try to show up. But it doesn't happen. It's just terrorism, because that's what they do. Their whole game is to try to terrorize people, to get their way by terrorizing people. And people who give in to that terrorism are not much better than the terrorists. I'm thinking about Ken Buck, who, after he did the slightest anti-Trump thing, got evicted from his offices by a Trump mutineer, got death threats, and then quit. And I guess I'm glad he quit. But he quit and then still supports Trump. So he's just afraid of the death threats. Like, the worst that can happen to you is you're an American hero dying for your country. But the best that can happen is you can stand up and be a hero that opposes this and stops it, because the only way to stop these terrorists is not to give in to their terrorism. So much respect to the hero Secretary of States Jenna Griswold here in Colorado, the Secretary of State of Maine, and just safety and protection to them. But we should all be supporting them, because we're all Americans, except for these Trump mutineer Nazi traitors. And we can't just ignore their death threats. We need to pursue the people who are making the death threats and arrest them for being terrorists. And that includes Trump, and stop this. And it also includes the other people who are enabling him, Biden and Newsom and these lukewarm centrist Democrats who are, like, using Trump as a tool to be not much less Nazi than him, I guess. That's Nazi. That's a Nazi thing to do, to use Trump as a tool instead of opposing him and stopping him where you can. The real American heroes are the secretaries of state who are stopping him, and the secretaries of state in the future who are going to stop him. Thank you so much for choosing America over Trump and Putin and Nazis. It's the only choice we have. We can either have America or we can have Trump. But the people who are choosing against Trump are the true Americans, and the people who are enabling Trump in any way are Nazis and terrorist supporters. We need to stop them.